What would you do if fake HOA cops showed up at your gate, thinking they could intimidate you? Imagine their shock when they discover the homeowner is not just experienced, but the head of the Secret Service. A suburban power play escalates into a high-stakes showdown where authority, strategy, and precision define survival. It was a bright morning, the kind where the sunlight catches every corner of the suburban street and throws shadows across well-kept lawns. I was enjoying a cup of coffee when the loud crash of metal hitting metal shattered the calm. The sound was unmistakable. Someone was at my front gate, and they were trying to force it open. I didn't panic. Years of service in the Secret Service had trained me to assess threats instantly, prioritize safety, and respond decisively. I activated the home surveillance feed. My stomach tightened as the images loaded. Two men in dark uniforms labeled HOA security were battering my steel gate with crowbars, their confidence evident in the way they moved. It was brazen, it was reckless, and it was illegal. I picked up my secure communication device, contacting my personal protective team while simultaneously reviewing live camera angles. Every movement of the intruders was visible, every tool they wielded captured. The situation was dangerous, yes, but predictable to someone trained in threat assessment. The intruders laughed, smirking as if intimidation would break me. Little did they know, they had just walked into a controlled environment. Hydraulic locks engaged, slamming the gate shut with a resonating hiss, forcing them to step back. Their smirks faltered. The first lesson: never underestimate your target. I stepped outside, calm but commanding. My casual attire belied the intensity behind my eyes. "Stand down," I said, voice low and firm, projecting authority. "You are trespassing on private property. Cease immediately." One of the men lunged toward me, crowbar in hand. Reflexively, I stepped aside, redirecting his momentum. Years of tactical training allowed me to use his weight against him, disarming him efficiently. The second man hesitated, unsure now. They had no idea whom they were dealing with. Behind them, the suburban street had begun to gather onlookers. Neighbors peeked from porches, phones ready to record. This was no longer just an intrusion. It was about to become a lesson in authority and skill. "Everything you're doing is being recorded," I continued. "You have no legal authority here. Any further action will be met with immediate legal and protective response." Their laughter had disappeared. Reality hit. They had targeted the wrong person. Moments later, local police arrived. By the time they stepped onto the scene, the intruders were restrained, confused, and terrified. The evidence was irrefutable. Surveillance video, eyewitness statements, and their own confessions documented the illegal attempt to intimidate and damage private property. Karen, the HOA president orchestrating the scheme from her office, was blindsided. Her plan had been simple: use fake authority to scare a homeowner into compliance. But she hadn't accounted for the homeowner's identity, experience, or strategic thinking. Within minutes, the situation was under control. The news spread like wildfire. Social media clips showed the intruder struggling against the lockdown gate, the calm homeowner stepping in confidently, disarming threats and asserting authority. Headlines read, "HOA security foiled by homeowner. Turns out he's Secret Service chief." Public outrage amplified the story. People marveled at the audacity of Karen's plan and the homeowner's flawless execution of defensive strategy. Inside, I debriefed my family. Liam, my son, observed quietly from the safety of our porch. He was young, but he understood the importance of vigilance and trust. This had been a real-life lesson in preparedness. Over the following days, we coordinated with law enforcement and legal teams. HOA officials were held accountable. Their complicity in sending fake security agents investigated. Karen faced multiple subpoenas. Her usual arrogance faltered as evidence piled against her. Surveillance footage, testimonies from neighbors, and the intruder's admissions left no room for denial. Throughout the trial, the story captivated the community. Parents and neighbors testified about previous overreach, intimidation tactics, and how Karen had misused HOA authority repeatedly. The courtroom became a stage where law and justice outweighed faux power and bullying. Every witness painted the picture clearly. Karen was reckless, dangerous, and completely unaware of the consequences her actions could bring. Months passed. Karen's HOA influence evaporated. Her position, once unchallenged, was now a symbol of failed authority. Public scrutiny and legal consequences dismantled the infrastructure she had used to intimidate residents. Meanwhile, our home returned to normalcy, fortified both physically and strategically, ensuring no future threats could escalate unnoticed. Liam thrived. He understood, in his own way, that adults could protect him and that preparation and awareness were vital. The neighborhood had also learned authority is only valid when paired with accountability, and intimidation has no place where law and vigilance are present. The final chapter of the ordeal came with sentencing. Karen received probation, fines, and restrictions barring any HOA involvement. Her fake cops faced legal penalties for impersonation and property damage. Justice had been served, fully documented, and publicly visible. In reflection, the incident reinforced several lessons. Preparation is key, authority must be verified, and protective action is non-negotiable when lives or property are at risk. Authority without accountability is dangerous. Vigilance without action is ineffective. Most importantly, protecting those who cannot protect themselves remains the highest duty. Life slowly returned to its peaceful rhythm. Golden daylight spilled across the street. Neighbors smiled, children played, and Liam laughed, safe and thriving. Karen's reign of intimidation had ended, replaced by a neighborhood more aware, united, and vigilant than ever. This story, once a nightmare, became a symbol of resilience, preparedness, and the limits of power. No amount of HOA authority could override law, personal expertise, or the will to protect family and community.